Field moving off now, falling in line behind the pace car. Daly Sullivan losing control of the car. 223 miles an hour.
It's ready. Hornish, it's a drag race. He's making a move.
Well done, my man, well done.
Let's get a report now. Chris Economaki has Mario Andretti.
Mario, what happened?
Well, obviously there was some oil. I think there was spilled by crystal out the car.
What about the traffic? The faster cars coming up with the slower ones now.
Well, it's normal pace of the race. I mean, this you see everywhere. It's no particular problem.
Thank you very much. Mario Andretti out of the 1971 Indianapolis 500-mile race.
And I may have said that was Chris Economaki doing the interview. It was actually Dave Letterman.
You know, it is the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. We wanted to bring out legends of the race. We're like, what happened to that 1971 reporter? There was the track reporter here. We were trying to figure out where he was, and lo and behold, David Letterman is here. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
What do you think of the setup? How are we doing
It's
here?
delightful. I mean, again, this is a perspective of the facility I've never enjoyed. And at my age, when you can be this close to public restrooms, whoa.
And that's why we got it set up here.
That's a victory. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got it set up here. When you look at some of the famous clips of your career, that one in 1971 with you at the race, what do you remember about that day?
That's a long story. The ABC had decided to continue same-day coverage of the race. Mm-hmm. And so they came in and they hired local announcers from the ABC affiliate where I worked to be turn announcers. And I got to be in turn 4. And I spent that entire weekend just hoping that nobody would call on me because I had no idea what to say or what to do. And sure enough, I think fairly early on in the race, Mario Andretti got into trouble between 3 and 4. A small mix-up, but put him out of the race. He steps out of the car and is now walking his way back to the motorhome, to the paddock, to the pits, and so forth. And I'm screaming, Mario, Mario, Mario. And God bless the man. He had no reason to come over and talk to me. He had no idea who I was, but yet he did. And I thought, well, this is grace under pressure. He's really doing this more for me than for him. And so as he was walking toward me, I thought, I have no idea what to say to the man. So in the briefing the day before, they said, now traffic is going to be a problem. Cars, slower cars, faster cars. So I said, Mario, how was the traffic? And he said, well, it was a problem, slower cars, faster cars. And I said, great, thank you very much. And that was it.
So if that was your resume reel, that probably wasn't a good one to send out there.
No, I'm telling you, for a kid, I was like 22 years old, and suddenly I was on network television. It was quite a gift because it was a tap on the shoulder that let me know you can be as dumb as I am and still appear on network television.
Yeah, how did things work out for you after that 1971 racing telecast?
I spent a lot of time in local TV. Then I moved to Los Angeles, and then I moved to New York, and now here I am talking to you.
You know, I was looking at the calendar the other day, and I said, you know what? It's been a year since we saw David Letterman on Late Night. What have you been up to?
Well, I spend most of my time sitting around the house waiting for Ellen to come on. I've done quite a lot. I've spent a lot of time with my family, done a lot of traveling, been to a lot of places, been to some races. So I've been busy. It's interesting when somebody uproots your schedule.
Sure.
All of a sudden you have no excuse to say no to things. So you got to, example, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, you couldn't say no to us because we knew you were retired.
Yeah, that's right. If I was still working, oh, no, you'd never get me here today.
No, you'd have big-timed us, and you'd be hanging out in your garage because you are a racing team owner. Is there one thing in this last year about retirement that you just didn't expect?
I didn't expect it to be, everybody talks about, I can hardly wait. I got 6 months left to retire. I got 3 months left to retire. And what I feel now is it's not retirement for me. It's not the ending of something. I feel now like something is coming for me, something I'm working my way toward that will be yet probably the rest of my life. And I'm excited to find out what that is. But I have the energy and I have the optimism, and I don't want to do what I did for 35 years. That was fun. It was great. It was gratifying. And the friendships I made were wonderful. And now I want to do the same in another form. When do you think you'll know what that is? Oh, I guess as soon as I'm done talking to you.
Oh, you're going to find yourself today?
Today is the day. Yeah, it's the second it comes to me, I'll come right back over.
Good, and then we'll run the breaking news animation, and then we'll let the whole world know what David Letterman's up to next. You know, you grew up 20 miles from here. This is a track and a race near and dear to your heart. Now, I read a story about you in your early days when you used to come to this race, and candidly, it had nothing to do with the race. You were trying to set records of consumption of stuff.
It had less to do with the race than it did to do with my friends at Ball State University.
Sid McKay at Ball State University.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we found an old piece of old Samsonite luggage, and we filled it full of ice and beer. And we thought that for some reason the luggage would be waterproof, but it wasn't.
Shocking.
So as the day got warmer, the ice melted, and we were draining gallons and gallons and gallons of water. And we just got as drunk as you can get without killing yourself from alcohol poisoning. And that was our day at the race. Graham Hill won that race. I forget what year that was, but I believe he was the winner. For whom Graham Rahal is named.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. Now, when you were
by the way, I'm drunk now.
Good. Well, we wouldn't expect anything less. And you look terrific doing it.
Thank you.
Did you are you one of the founders of the Snake Pit then when all this was going down?
No, I had enough brains to stay away from the Snake Pit because even as a youngster listening to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway network, they would refer to the Snake Pit. And in my 6 or 7 year old imagination, I just assumed that people would go into the Snake Pit and never return.
Oh.
And I think that's probably not a bad description.
That's not too far from the truth either.
Right.
I've seen what goes on out there. What makes this race special for this year? I know for those that are inside the state of Indiana understand what this means. Give us perspective.
Well, when I was a kid, we had the Indianapolis Indians minor league baseball. They started out as a farm team for the Cleveland Indians. Then as I grew up, they were with the Reds. Now I think they're with the Pirates. I'm not sure, but AAA, we've had baseball in this city for over 100 years. At a beautiful old park, Victory Field, and now they have the brand new one downtown. So that it was baseball. And then we had high school basketball, which was, as you know, everybody is like a fever.
Sure.
But that was it in terms of sports that everybody enjoyed, but then with the Indianapolis 500, every spring it was winter was over. The long, cold Midwestern winter finished, and the grass was green, and you could start to hear the cars practicing at the Motor Speedway. And with that, the attention of what we believe to be the world, certainly the racing world, was focused right here on our hometown. And that was magic. That was magic for a kid. In Chicago, you had the Cubs, you had the Bears. In St. Louis, you had the Cardinals. In Cincinnati, you had the Reds. But here, by God, we had the Indianapolis 500, and you could go anywhere in the world, and people knew about the Indianapolis 500. So it was a magical time. And plus, it also meant you only had a few more weeks before school was out.
This is the 30th anniversary of Bobby Rahal winning this race. Graham Rahal, of course, you're an owner of the Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing team. Is this the year? Is he going to continue that 30th anniversary tradition of winning a race when his dad wins somewhere else on the 30th anniversary?
Yes.
This is the one.
This is the year. If we don't win this year, it's the 100th running.
Yes.
And maybe I shouldn't be telling this because what I'm about to say is sort of intimate.
Please do.
If we don't win, and Graham is the guy to win, I don't care where you put the kid in the field. He's starting 25th. But I don't know if you've seen him race in the last couple of years, and I don't know if it's because he's starting sometimes a little farther back. I don't know if it's just the way the kid races, but he's like a wolf hunting a wounded elk, and he goes and he goes and he goes until. So that's what we're counting on. But personally, if and you can count on this. You can, I don't know, put this away and run it later. If we don't win the 100th running, I have every intention of faking my own death.
Really? Can we run through that real quick? How would that go about?
I can't reveal.
Let's script that out real quick.
I know a fellow who will remove my fingerprints.
Okay.
I have a post office box somewhere on the planet, and that's all I can tell you.
So you're going off the grid if you guys don't win. All right.
That's all I can say, Matt.
David Letterman joining us this morning on SportsCenter.
Please get out of the shop. Get out of here.
And David,
Can't take it anymore.
I mean this with all due respect. Thank you for holding your bathroom break for us.
Thank you very much.
I got to give you the Sigma Chi grip here live on television. The bathroom's right there.
Good.
But I've been told it's real dirty.
Oh.
You might want your own. David Letterman with the SportsCenter back in a moment. If you never see David Letterman again, it's because he faked his own death and Graham Rahal didn't win.
Oh,